When the Romans come along, what city do they build on the Thames? London, and they call it Londinium. That's the short, Londinium to London. If I left London and drove out to the Salisbury Plain, right about here, these nice green, notice not much wood, not much forest, that's been cut down long ago. I'm on the Salisbury Plain and I can see Stonehenge. And what do I mean when I say capstones? This is a little different. Evan.
Stones that are on top of it.
Exactly. We call those the capstones. And some of the standing stones and the capstones in particular are a rock that you can only find off in Wales. So we have no idea how did they come this far away in Wales and take that blue stone, drag it all the way up to the Salisbury Plain. So they weighed tons, thousands and thousands of pounds. They moved them many hundreds of miles, and then we're not sure how they lifted the capstones because this was done 5,000 years ago. They didn't have much technology. They probably didn't even do that. So, for any rate, they did it, and this one is unique. What did this one do? And we can prove it that none of the other stone circles do it well. The shortest day of the year, the sunset lined up with some of those capstones for the longest day of the year. Its function as a calendar. You knew, Stone Age man knew, the cold times are ending, the days are going to get warmer. Or the warm days are ending, the cold times are coming. So this very conveniently told them the seasons. These days, if I drive out to London, I park on one side of the highway and I go under a tunnel and I come up and I can walk all around it, but it's roped off. I'm not allowed to go up the stones. We were born just a few years too late. It used to be just walk right up and have your picnic.
Oh, it's a picnic.
Any questions about Stonehenge?
Oh, it's Henge.
5,000 years ago, it was probably built of lumber and they replaced it with those stones. The English, their version of the Park Service, you have a car park, they pay a little admission, and then you take the underground tunnel, just so that millions of us tourists don't go knock the whole thing down, which probably would take 1 year. They just let the public have at it. But there are other neat, around the Salisbury Plain, stone circles and some Stone Age stuff. Along comes copper. Along comes, add a little bit of tin to your copper, you get bronze, and then Iron Age. Though each one of those technologies ends this Stone Age. We aren't really sure what they did with these stone circles. We like the information that this is a calendar, but we just don't know much about their lifestyle. So much change. Along comes the Romans. If it's the Iron Age, go ahead and look up Bath, England. And I love Bath, Maine is named for Bath, England. It's for Romans coming out of the Mediterranean in Rome. England was miserably chilly and rainy place. So they like nice sunny Mediterranean weather. They come all the way up here to Bath, England, and the rest of London is so rainy. They like these prevailing winds bring warm air from our Caribbean up to England. So Bath, England was a great place to build kind of a resort town. And you're really looking at a bathhouse.
Why is all the water green?
Well, it is 2,000 years old.
Oh.
But, whatever aqueducts, whatever they had built to feed this, if you had been conquered, if you had been the Celtic or Anglo or Saxon tribe that they conquered to build their bathhouse here, you were down beneath building the fires to warm the bath. So this is basically a classic version of a heated swimming pool. But think of the hygiene. If the Romans did this to bathe every day, think of how much healthier they were. As this stuff collapsed and deteriorated or turned green, bathing became, we were suspicious
I'd
of
go.
it. We kind of associated wet hair.
Oh, cool.
In the Dark Ages, we bathed once a year, and that was considered a nuisance.
Once a year.
But think of our health. The bubonic plague did quite a number on us. We weren't living as long. We certainly weren't as healthy. But Bath, England was a nice, as warm as England could offer, resort town. And I love that the Roman bath is still there. As you can see in these photographs. It's on the coast. It's a shipyard, so Bath, Maine is named after Bath, England. One Celtic, and I'm saying Celtic. Look how it's spelled. It's spelled just like the basketball team. How do we say it when it's the Boston basketball team? Yeah, I'm not sure why we say it hard when we're talking about the people, but when you look at their logo, is it still a leprechaun? The Boston uniform's green. They're definitely, you know, the Celtics are honoring that Irish tradition that Boston has. But when you talk about this culture of 2,000 years ago,
Yeah,
one
it's
Celtic queen, when her husband died, the Romans told her she got nothing. She was to turn everything over to them. And 70,000 dead Romans later, the emperor down in Rome was sending more troops to finally stop them. Look at Boudica. And you'll get a lot of artwork, but I like this one. This is the statue that sits right in front of Parliament.
Boudica.
Here's Boudica. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I let it autofill.
That
Where's Beth?
now that looks like from the movie Brave.
Yes, the
Merida.
I've been told even my coloring and stuff is more Germanic. We kind of think that it's Irish, but these northern tribes,
Whoa.
the Goths, the Gauls, the Germs, the Franks, and now we're up here, Celtics, the Anglos, the Saxons. So we're not really sure what it looked like, but we do know from the Roman reports what the centurions, what the Roman legions wrote down, what was reported back to Rome, and all the extra soldiers they had to send to stop her. She gave the Romans quite a run for their money. They did stop her, but this statue is right outside of the Parliament building in London today. So Boudica is quite a famous moment for that kind of history. As the Romans kept trying to control these barbarians, as they called them, one Roman emperor said, go ahead and just build a wall. And look up Hadrian's Wall. Emperor Hadrian had this built, and it goes all the way across the island of England and Scotland. It kind of separates them. Whoa.
There we go.
That. Hadrian's Wall, Hadrian, Hadrian's Wall, and
Oops.
thoughts, reactions. What do you see there?
A wall.
Yeah, and look, I've hiked most of this. It's it's a few days hiking, but I like finding a picture with a hiker in it because very, very common. This is
Is a sheep.
if you were students in I would be asking you if we were in London, how many of you have been up Hadrian's Wall? It's really popular for the walk to do. These foundations that are left, they gave a diagram down here. This would have been where the Roman legions would have been garrisoned. So that would have been along the wall as they patrolled. And it stretches. That's a pretty good map. It stretches as England narrows and Scotland is to the north. The land is pretty hillier. The Scottish Highlands are a lot hillier than this. The South, like Tony off Stonehenge. So different chunks of it were built at different times. And just kind of an impressive stretch. Is anybody here Scottish? Do you know Scottish? Well, the Scots are very, very proud of. Here's a. If your last name is Campbell, that's the Campbell clan's tartan. Every Scottish clan had a certain plaid, a tartan, that identified them. It's kind of like going on to the battlefield, like a flag. And they are very proud that the Romans could not beat them and had to build this wall. And I'll show you. This is who they painted themselves blue mostly. These barbarians coming down from Scotland, and so you can kind of get the sense of how fierce these warriors were,
I wanna
and
see.
they just couldn't be defeated. So the Romans built Hadrian's Wall. That's a little bit of early Scottish history. But now the Celts have been defeated by the Romans. The Roman Empire is weakening. They do become Christian, and so the Celts become Christian as well. Look up a Celtic cross, and you're gonna get a lot of like clip art and maybe some tattoo kind of art. Just look at them and decide what they all have in common.
They all have little designs.
Yes.
I have
Very good.
one on my necklace.
What's that?
I have one of those on my
Oh,
necklace.
is that a Celtic cross?
That is so cool. Yes. So
That circle too. If
Wow.
the Romans crucified somebody like this, maybe the circle is illuminating, emphasizing the heart, the human heart, love, eternity.
Whoa.
I've read different things about why the Celtic cross has that, but they were fishermen. They live on an island, these Celts, and so they could weave a mean fishing net. And so all of those twisty vines, sometimes they're like snakes, sometimes it's just a rope pattern.
I found dragon.
I love them. Yeah, I think they're so cool. And you will find them in churchyards and cemeteries. So as the Celts, were controlled by the Romans, they eventually also moved to Christianity. Gone are two would have been worshipped on Tuesday, Odin on Wednesday, Thor on Thursday, Freya, she was worshipped on Friday. So there's a little nod to all those Celtic and Norse gods that had to be given up. Look at the Book of Kells. This was actually in Ireland, but I think it's a good example to get another. Yeah. So this was one of the first Bibles, probably copied out
I don't think I
in
said
about
that
year
right.
800. And an Irish priest, or many priests in a lifetime, page after page after page,
So ugly.
beautiful illustrations, in the text that tells the story of the Bible. But I like that one because you can kind of see that serpent, some twisty vines, ropes, pattern. Sometimes it was a. But anyway, here you see kind of the last great bit of Celtic culture before it, becomes Christian. Okay, so let's leave the Book of Kells. And Christian kingdoms need castles. So go to Cardiff. And I love Cardiff is the capital of Wales. Portsmouth is a Welsh name, so my husband's family, they were coal miners around
Ours
Cardiff.
does not look like where she is.
And
How do you spell it?
Cardiff.
Oh, well, we didn't get stuff like you.
Cardiff. I did Cardiff Castle maybe.
Oh.
Or an autofill, and I clicked Cardiff Castle, maybe I did that. Yeah, I did Cardiff Castle.
Okay, yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, I just wrote it down. And I like how they mounded up earth, and they built their castle keep, the round castle on top of that. On top of this mound of soil, you dig the deepest pit you can, and that becomes the trapdoor. That's where you dump your prisoners into your oblivion, your dungeon. So if you are in oblivion, that's how way down deep and dark the dungeon was. It's round because inside that castle keep, you've got to have a well. You've got to have some goats, pigs, chickens, some gardens. If the enemy surrounds you and is attacking, you've got to live within those walls. Are there a lot of windows?
Probably not.
It's cold and it's dark and it's damp in there. It's not. Life isn't great. I mean, it was more like a fortress than a grand place to live. But Cardiff Castle is just perfect as far as what those earliest castles look like. Go up to Edinburgh. That's how you spell it. Edinburgh is how they want you to say it. Edinburgh. Edinburgh. And again, it's high up on a cliff of Edinburgh, but you can see the castle keep, and then you can see where they've added on to it quite a bit. When